Hello and welcome to Hacks. Today I want to talk about hacking legally, that is without breaking any rules. As you can remember from my first video, I talked about the various laws as part of the Computer Misuse Act that you could be in violation of if you choose to go and hack things that are publicly available on the internet without the express permission of the person who owns that product. So if you decided that you're going to go and try and hack into one of Google's servers, they are well within their rights to contact the authorities and have you arrested for the violation of the Computer Misuse Act. Some of those rules are just access to computer materials, unauthorized computer materials. Some of those laws even cover recklessness, so you may not intentionally go out your way to destroy something, but you may accidentally do it through reckless behavior, and that can cause you to face fines and potentially prison time if you cause enough damage. So yeah, today I want to talk about how you can hack legally, and there absolutely are places on the internet where you can go to learn new skills, test out your skills that you've already learned, and just hack everything that you see, provided it's within the scope of their rules. And the first place I would like to talk about, which you may already be familiar with depending on any of my videos that you've watched, is Hack This Site. Hack This Site is getting on now a bit, but this was one of the first sort of hacking sites I ever come across, and it was probably one of the first ones available on the web. It's a good site, it's a bit dated, but they offer a number of challenges, including basic web missions, realistic missions, application missions, realistic programming, JavaScript, forensic, extended basic, and stego missions. So your basic missions, they're going to be very simple things like viewing the source code of a website and finding a password. So you just inspect, and then you could do like a find, and then it will show you like where the password is. So it's very straightforward. The realistic missions, they actually emulate more sort of the applications you would have found on the internet around the time that these challenges were created. The application missions, they give you an application that you need to download and reverse engineer to get flags from. Programming missions, they give you programming challenges where you have to develop a program that does something, whether it's to calculate how many numbers there are in a string, but you get a set period of time to do it. Phone phreaking missions, you phone a switchboard. Phone phreaking is an older sort of method of hacking switchboards and things like that. There's loads of good documentaries out on there. I was just watching one of those rather than listening to me ramble on about it, but yeah, you know, it was one of the first sort of bypasses of security, using recorded telephone beeps to get free phone calls. JavaScript missions, it's exactly that. It's JavaScripts that you have to manipulate or even disable in order to pass a lab. Forensic missions. So computer forensics usually consists of trying to find things on drives or things like that, or finding hidden things or things that have been destroyed. Extended basic missions, I'm currently going through these now. They appear to be more programmer orientated. You have to work out programs. And stego missions, short for steganography, that is when you hide data inside other data. So the most obvious example is hiding a WinRAR or a zip file inside a picture. You know, that's quite a well-known version of steganography, but there's also missions where you have to find things in audio, find the keyword in an audio or something else to that effect. And then IRC missions, which focuses on internet relay chat and the missions you can do there. But yeah, it's a lot of fun, and there's a lot of knowledge to be gained from there to this day. Some of it is quite outdated, I believe, and one of the realistic missions, it focused heavily on Flash, and we know Flash is hardly used on the internet. Well, shouldn't be used anymore, and most modern browsers don't support it, but there are some really good chunks of knowledge that you can get from there, and it's all legal. All you have to do is create an account, log in, you get a profile set up to monitor your progress, and it shows you how far along you've come. You also get rankings, and it shows you where you are. I'm currently a wise man on my way to master, but There we go, one day at a time, eh? So yeah, that's Hack This Site. It's something I highly recommend. Again, even if you just want to show the support, they've got an active Discord community. The forums are really good, but I think they're down at the moment. And honestly, it's the first site I ever got into hacking on, so I have fond memories of it, and it's just something that I've always wanted to complete and get the glider on the actual glider rank. I'd love to get that one day. But yeah, that's Hack This Site. The next one I want to look at, which is probably my favourite at the moment, is HackTheBox. It's a digital playground, and it offers quite a lot. As you can see down the bottom, you have various tracks, so you can assign yourself to a track, and it will give you challenges and boxes to do that will help you along. So there's like a starter track, a beginner track, an into cyber track, and it will give you challenges or machines based on what you've chose, and you have to go ahead and hack them. Now, the machines, they are all in their own network, as you can see there, and they're varying degrees of difficulty. So you've got Late, which is an easy box, Harbor, Hathor, which is insane. They can be Windows, Linux, or FreeBSD, I believe. And these machines you can access. You get given an IP. You have to download their VPN and connect to their network. But you can go on and attempt to hack these boxes. So you'll use either their Pwn box if you've got the VIP subscription, or your own Kali instance, or Parrot OS instance, and you'll mmap the box. You'll look for vulnerabilities. You'll try to exploit those vulnerabilities, and then you usually have two flags which you need to capture: the user flag and the root flag, and then you submit them to the actual box. I believe there should be a page on here once it loads where you can submit the flags. Yeah, so there you go. You can submit the user flag, the root flag, and then once you do that, you get points, and it works towards your profile where you can rank up and become hacker, master hacker, pro hacker, and yeah, it's just a lot of fun. But it's not just boxes as well. There's also challenges. So you got your starting point there, which is going to be all your sort of really easy boxes. You've got your tracks there, so you got beginner track, into Android exploitation, into binary exploitation, stuff that I desperately need to do. Got your machines, but you've also got various challenges. And again, it's a bit like Hack This Site. Got some hardware challenges there, some crypto challenges there, Pwn, mobile. Again, these are fairly self-explanatory. Reversing, so you've got to reverse engineer a program to get a password out of it. Game Pwn, I didn't realise they were doing games now. Forensics again, miscellaneous. Web challenges, a bit like Hack This Site again, finding flaws in web code. And then you've got fortresses. These are set up by external providers, I believe, and you have to capture flags on them. So you get given a different network, and you have to scan the IP address and find the sort of vulnerabilities on that machine. You've got end games, which again are more labs, and then you've got pro labs as well, which I believe are set up again. They're like entire networks there rather than a single machine. So this is where you could practice things like pivoting and other stuff. Again, I've not done any of the pro labs, so I'm not too familiar with them. It's something I definitely want to get into, but it's just having time at the moment. And that's HackTheBox. They've got a great active Discord community. The forums are fantastic. They have a forum post for every box that gets added to the platform. So if you're ever struggling to find user or a way in, a foothold into the box, there's usually a forum post on the forum which will tell you how to do it. It will point you in the right direction. They don't give you answers straight up, like they don't just give you the answers, but they will point you to it with sort of words that are not directly associated with what you need to do. So if you need to net cat to a certain port, they'll be like, point your cat to a port. And yeah, it's just a good community. Like I say, their Discord community is great. But that's HackTheBox. It's my favourite. I can't wait to get some more time to spend on it, to be honest. Then that brings us on to, I think it's VulnHub, based on the way I've written this. Now, VulnHub is slightly different to HackTheBox and Hack This Site. Hack This Site is all hosted on their own server. HackTheBox is all hosted in their own sort of cloud, probably some AWS or Microsoft instances or Docker containers that spin up the boxes. But yeah, VulnHub it's more like a repository for you to find and download virtual machines that you can have on your local machine. So then you can spin them up, have your Kali instance running in one virtual box, and on the same network you would have your vulnerable machine that you've downloaded from VulnHub, and then you scan it and attack it. So rather than spinning it up in somebody else's cloud, it's all done locally. But there are some really great machines on there. You can get Metasploitable from there for a start, which includes Juice Shop and Damn Vulnerable Web App. But there's like a DC series which I was finding really good before I stopped doing them. There was a box called Necromancer or Neuromancer, I think it was. That was amazing. That had you doing SNMP walks and modifying them and doing port knocks to get into the box. The Mr. Robot box is really good as well. It teaches you how to do an remote code execution exploit, I believe, through a command that they put on the website to ping. But that's it for VulnHub, if I'm being honest with you. It's all downloaded to your local machine. You spin it up, you attack the box, you can then write it up, what you learned, and delete the virtual machine and go about your day. So, yeah, a lot of fun. The one I've got the least experience with, unfortunately, but something I've been meaning to get into is TryHackMe. Again, I've mainly been on HackTheBox, Hack This Site, and VulnHub. This is one I've not yet got into, but I've heard very good things about it from my colleagues and friends. As you can see here, I've signed up. They've got a big community. They've got learning paths. They even help you build a skills matrix, which you can share with your employer to be like, this is what I've done on TryHackMe. I've got like an academy. HackTheBox has also got an academy. I did forget to mention that, but you can start off as a junior tester, pro security, cyber defense. So you've got your blue team, complete beginner, bit of offensive red team in there, CompTIA, Pen Test Plus. I'm actually currently studying for that at the moment. Web fundamentals, and yeah, modules on Burp Suite, Metasploit, web hacking. There's a lot to go through here, and then you obviously got your practice labs. So there is definitely a lot to do on all of these sites, and I wish I had time to just sit there for months on end hacking them all. But again, we have to manage our time as we can. But these are the places where you can hack legally, where you won't get in trouble for doing so, unless, of course, you start hacking other users on the network. I'm pretty sure you can't do that, but never say never. But yeah, if you want to practice hacking skills and you want to know how to go about it, these are your good starting points. There are other places certainly where you can go, and over the wire or under the wire or other places like that where you can do sort of command challenges. It will be like, how do you do this in PowerShell, or how do you do this in Bash? And I remember Bandit was one of them I did some Windows ones as well. It's a lot of fun. They are great challenges. Like I said, the amount of resources available now is endless. I remember when I first got into hacking, there wasn't a lot of information out there. It was all very hush hush. Everybody sort of kept their techniques to themselves. And like I say, Hack This Site was one of the only sites available at the time. I think Hellbound Hackers was another one as well. So we're really spoilt for choice at the moment, and I highly recommend, if you're interested in this area, signing up for one of these sites and getting started. I'm not sure if HackTheBox still has a requirement for you to hack your way in. That was one of them. There are guides out there if you get stuck. Again, definitely try it yourself before you do it. But I find a lot of the time in cybersecurity, the problem is with not knowing what questions to ask. Because if you don't understand the fundamentals of a technology, how are you supposed to know what questions to ask about that technology in order to hack it? Now, you could spend hours just sitting there poring through documentation and finding weaknesses, but it's a bit like looking for a needle in a haystack. So sometimes guidance is needed, and most of these places you will find loads of guides out there on the internet where people have done write-ups for them. So always give it a go yourself, but if you're finding it difficult, don't feel ashamed to go and look at guides. Everybody does at some point in their career path or their path through cybersecurity. So give it a go. And yeah, let me know how you get on. I hope you found this video useful and informative. If you did, give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment and let me know. And I will see you next time. Kind regards.